Okay. So next, coming to the blood coagulation. Blood coagulation is a transformation of blood into a solid gel termed as clot or thrombus. So here, so blood is a liquid part. Okay, so it is a liquid, right? So it will turn into a solid gel like mass. The liquid portion, the liquid blood, get converted into a solid gel, which is termed as a clot or coagulation. So here mainly the fibrinogen is a clotting factors. There are 13 clotting factors are there. I will tell next slide. Fibrinogen get converted into a fibrin. Okay. So fibrinogen get converted into fibrin. So fibrin is, formation of fibrin is important. So it will seal like this. Okay. It will make a mesh around the cell, red cell. Okay, where the red cells get entangled here. So it will form a fibrin, will form a, it is a thread like structure. It will form a mesh like structure where the RBCs get entangled. So one thing is here, the all the clotting factors, as I told, so there are 13 clotting factors. These are the 13 clotting factors which is present in the blood. All these clotting factors are inactive. Okay, all the clotting factors are inactive. Whenever there is a cut or a wound in the blood vessels, only that time these clotting factors are active. Okay, so otherwise what will happen? So the clotting will takes place within the circulation, right? And that clot will block the further movement of the blood. So we will see which are the clotting factors. The first one is a factor 1 called fibrinogen. Factor 1 called fibrinogen. Factor 2 are called prothrombin. Factor 3 called tissue thromboplastin. Factor 4 is called calcium ion. Factor 5th is labile factor. Factor 6th is absent. Okay. So now 7th is stable factor. Factor 8 is anti-hemophilic factor. Factor 9 is Christmas factor. Factor 10th is throat power factor. Factor 9 is, sorry, factor 11 is plasma thromboplastin antecedent. Factor 12th is Hedgeman factor. Then factor 13 is fibrin stabilizing factor. Okay. If you write just factor 1, 2, 3 is also enough. Okay. So but remember, the important is everything is important because all are involved in the clotting mechanism. So coming to the steps, if you see the steps in the clotting mechanism, so it is like an enzyme cascade theory. So enzyme, here the one process is initiating the next process, next step, until it reach the final step. Okay, it will not the first step is taking place, then it is for activate the next step, that will activate the next step, like this until the final clotting mechanism to reach. It will takes place, a series of mechanism. So enzyme is very important because of these enzyme in our body. There are so many functions are taking place. So this clotting mechanism is also a enzyme activity. Here what will happen? There's an inactive proenzyme. Proenzyme are always inactive, get converted into active enzyme. Clear? Inactive proenzyme get converted into active enzyme. Next, coming to stages of blood clotting. There are 3 stages. So, you are following, right? First, whenever the cutting of the blood vessel, the vasoconstriction is taking place. That is steps I am telling about hemostasis. Okay. So, what is hemostasis? He means blood. Stasis means to stop. So, there are 3 mechanisms is taking place. First, vasoconstriction, that is by platelets. Serotonin release the platelets. After vasoconstriction, platelet plug formation, the temporary platelet plug. After temporary platelet plug formation, there is a permanent sealing or clot will be formed. So this step I am telling. So blood clotting, the third step of hemostasis. In this blood clotting, again 3 stages. First one is formation of prothrombin activator. Formation of prothrombin activator means to initiate first this clotting factor. Prothrombin is a clotting factor, right? So this clotting factor get activate. Okay. After activation of prothrombin activator, there is a conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. Okay. Conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. Next, conversion of pro means always it is inactive. Okay. Conversion of prothrombin into thrombin is an active form. Conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. Okay. Fibrinogen into activated fibrin. As I told, the first there is a prothrombin activator has to form, right? So then only this prothrombin activator convert prothrombin into thrombin. So this activation of prothrombin activator, so we have 2 mechanism. I will tell later. This thrombin convert fibrinogen to fibrin. Okay, conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. Then fibrin form a fibrin polymer. So first I will tell next how this. So this is latest step. So this fibrin in presence of clotting factor 13 and calcium form a insoluble fibrin clot. The next step. As I told, the thing is first prothrombin activator. Activation of prothrombin is important. Activation of prothrombin activator is important. In that there are 2 pathway, intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. Understood? So this one I am telling. So prothrombin to thrombin is the next step. So before that, this activation is important, prothrombin activator. For this there are 2 mechanisms. Okay, 2 mechanisms are there. One is intrinsic mechanism and extrinsic mechanism. So after this, the thrombin cause the conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. Then fibrin will form. So this fibrin polymer in presence of factor 13 and calcium form a insoluble fibrin clot. Next, coming to the activation of prothrombin activator, there is a two pathway, intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. So mainly this intrinsic pathway, intrinsic means uh, inside, okay. So whatever the blood contain, the blood part, inside the blood part, okay, that is activated by exposure of collagen, okay. Here mainly the intrinsic pathway is activated by collagen. So collagen is a present in the blood vessels, right? So that will activate, and also initiated by platelets, okay, very important function of platelets. As I told first only, the function of platelets, it will involve in every steps in blood coagulation. So intrinsic pathway is activated by exposure to collagen and by platelets. Next, coming to extrinsic pathway, which is activated by tissue factors, means tissue thromboplastin, okay. So it is not a plasma protein. So extrinsic means external substance get activate this step, okay. So it is released by outside the endothelium. So it is not inside the blood vessels. It is released from outside the endothelium. So it is a extrinsic pathway. So this is intrinsic pathway. So mainly I told initiated by platelets. So whenever there is endothelial damage, endothelium, as I told, endothelium is a layer. So when you take the cross section, so you can see that this is the cross section of the blood vessels. So inside there, this is a wall is there, endothelial wall, okay. So this get damaged, okay, this get damaged. So that time the collagen get exposed. Understood? The collagen get exposed. So now factor 12 get activated into activated factor 12, activation of factor 12. So this is 12 factor 12, 12a small a is activated. So this activate factor 11 and converted into activated factor 11, okay. So this required kininogen and kallikrein, okay, pre-kallikrein it required. Understood? Whenever the endothelial damage and collagen exposure, so immediately the platelets get released and that will initiate convert factor 12 into factor 12 at A, that's activation, then factor 11 into factor 11A, that is kininogen and kallikrein. Then this factor 11 activate the factor 9, that is calcium. In presence of calcium activate the factor 9. So you just remember, so first 12, next 11, next 9, not 10. Understood? 9. So factor 10 is a prothrombin, okay. So next, in presence of factor 7th and calcium, in presence of factor 8th and calcium, factor 10th get activated into activated A. So factor 10th is a prothrombin activator, okay, that activates the prothrombin activator. So simple, just remember. So they will give the question, write the intrinsic pathway of blood coagulation, okay. So in the intrinsic pathway, so mainly by collagen and initiated by platelets. So whenever there is endothelial damage and collagen exposed, whenever there is endothelial damage, the factor 12 get activated 12, that activate factor 11, in presence of kininogen and prekallikrein. The ninth, the 11 will activate factor 9, presence of calcium. 9 activate the factor 10th in presence of factor 8 and calcium. Then prothrombin activator is formed. Okay. So in presence, that is also in presence of phospholipids and calcium. So that collagen release the platelets. Platelet release the phospholipids, activate the prothrombin activator. Next, extrinsic pathway. In this, the formation of prothrombin activator is initiated by a tissue thromboplastin. Okay. So in intrinsic pathway, it is platelets mainly, and here it is tissue thromboplastin. So whenever tissue damage or trauma, this tissue thromboplastin get released. This will activate factor 7th, convert it into factor 7th A. This factor 7th A activate factor 10th. Okay, activate factor 10th. 7th convert it into 10th. So 10th is a mainly in presence of phospholipids, calcium and factor 3rd activate the prothrombin activator. This is simple, right? In intrinsic pathway, it is mainly initiated by tissue thromboplastin. Okay, initiated by tissue thromboplastin that will activate the factor 7th. Factor 7th activate factor 10th. Factor 10th in presence of phospholipids and calcium, it activate the prothrombin activator. Clear? So that is stage 1. Stage 1 is what? Activation of prothrombin activator. So activation of this is initiated by two mechanisms. One is intrinsic mechanism and extrinsic mechanism. In intrinsic mechanism, mainly by whenever tissue damage, endothelial damage, so that time platelets get activated and release the phospholipids. So in that factor, many factors get activated. Then in the extrinsic pathway, mainly the tissue thromboplastin. So next coming to stage 2. So prothrombin get converted into thrombin. So thrombin convert fibrinogen into fibrin. So in presence of factor 13 and calcium, this fibrin is very important. Okay, so blood clot will form. So you can see in this clotting mechanism, all the 13 clotting factors are involved, right? All the 13 clotting factors are involved. So this mechanism is very important. Usually they will ask in the exam. This is overall, okay. So overall mechanism. So intrinsic pathway, this is extrinsic pathway. So whenever the vessel damage, the exposed collagen get exposed, so it will contact activation of factor 12th. Okay, first factor 12th, next is the 11th, is the 9th, next is factor 8th, and activated platelets convert factor 10th into activated factor. Here the extrinsic pathway, tissue factors activate factor 7th. This factor 7th directly activate the factor 10th. Now the activated factor 10th and in presence of platelets and convert the factor 5th and 13, factor 13. So convert the prothrombin into thrombin, not 13 there. So this is how the fibrin threads in a clot. Okay, so this is a fibrin thread. So all your, these are the RBC cells. So it will prevent the further blood clot. So next, coming to clot retraction. So first only I told clot retraction is the function of platelets. Okay, so here so initially the freshly formed blood clot about 30 to 45 minutes if you take the blood in a beaker. Okay, so 30 to 45 minutes. So what will happen is initially it is bigger and soft, okay, clot. So as the time progress, so the size decreases, okay, and also the clot become firm means hard, okay, because and also the straw colored fluid get oozes means, so suppose this is your clot, jelly like mass will form. So fluid will coming outside, a straw colored, so light brown color fluid is coming out, so that is called clot retraction. Understood? That is called clot retraction. So why it is taking place? So it is due to actin myosin. So presence of actin myosin is a protein, actin myosin like filaments which are contractile in nature. Okay, so in this clot the actin myosin like filaments are present. So actin and myosin are a protein which is present in a muscle. Okay, so later classes will come to know. So like contractile in nature. So purpose of clot retraction. So here what will happen? So if the clotting occurs within the blood vessels, okay, suppose this is your blood vessels, here the clot will occur, that is called thrombosis. Okay, thrombosis. So within the blood vessels if the clot occur, it's called thrombosis. So this will obstruct the blood flow. Suppose the blood has to go here, so it is obstructing the blood vessels, obstructing the flow of the blood. Okay, so because of the clot retraction, so means the size become less, right? So first formed clot is soft and size is bigger, so that will prevent the further flow of the blood. Because of this clot retraction, that will facilitate the recanalization of the thrombosed vein. Just right, clot retraction facilitates the further flow of blood. Okay, it is called, when the clot undergoes retraction, it becomes firm and prevents the thromboembolism. Means thromboembolism, thrombosis means prevention of blood clot. So that is very it is a disease condition. You can see in the heart, the blood vessels get any plaque will form, so cholesterol level increases, the plaque will form on the blood vessel. That will prevent the further flow of the blood. So that time the blood clot will form in that area. So they will, by surgery, they will remove that clot. They will bypass the flow of the blood. Okay. Okay, thank you. I will stop here only. So in this topic, so very important is, one is the functions of the platelets and mechanism of coagulation, blood coagulation, or mechanism of blood clotting, and they will give the short notes on clot retraction. Okay.